So you got a lot of canola sitting in your silo because you just got done harvesting it and now you're unsure if you're going to sell it or turn it into oil? Let's go check out the productions and see if they're worth owning. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the two base game oil mills, the large and the small, to see if they are worth owning. Now, there's a pretty big difference in the price. The large one over there is $240,000 to put down on your farm, or if you want to buy the one that's on the map, it costs the exact same amount. This little one over here is only $36,000, but the one thing you should know about both of these is that the capacity on the output isn't really that big. So let's go ahead and jump here into the spreadsheet, and I'll show you what I mean. So the first column you can see here is the oil mill, and we've got the input. So you're able to put canola, sunflower, olives, long grain rice, and regular rice in here. Next column that you see is the peak easy input sell price. I went ahead with the estimated peak price because you're not going to be selling your products at rock bottom. You're going to be selling them when they're the most profitable for you. So we went ahead and put that price right here, and this is easy economy. And if you're interested in normal economy, it's just 60% of these values right here, and hard economy is 33% of the values that you're seeing on the screen. The next column is your input quantity per cycle. You can see that it's anywhere from 12 all the way up to 25 liters of product that you're going to need to put in for every single cycle. The next column is your input value per cycle. And what that means is this is how much, say, 12 liters of canola is valued at. And that's $43.78. The next column here is your output. And you're going to be able to get canola oil, sunflower oil, olive oil, or rice oil. Both rices create the exact same recipe, and that's going to be your rice oil. The other three have their own individual. Next, we've got the peak easy output sell price. So this is a really interesting one. Your olive oil goes for almost $8,800 at its estimated peak price, all the way down to just about $6,000 for your canola oil. The next two columns here, this is your output quantity per cycle, and all of them are going to be 10. So it doesn't matter how much input you put in, you're only going to get 10 liters out. And this is the value of that cycle. You can see it's anywhere from about $60 all the way up to almost $88 for olive oil. How many cycles a month do we have? Well, it's 480 except for olive oil, and you're only going to get 240 cycles there. The production cost is $60 per month, and the output value per month is anywhere from $21,000 almost all the way up to $31,000. Now, the next two columns that you see here, this is the input value per month and the additional revenue by using the production. So I put these two in here so you could see how much more revenue you're going to generate if you use a production instead of just selling off your products without running it through a production. You can see that for canola, you're going to make about $28,500 on your output value, but your input value, if you just sell the canola by itself, is $21,000. So you're going to get about an extra $7,500 of revenue if you run it through the production. You can see that long grain rice, it's above $10,500, almost $11,000. Once again, these are all estimated peak prices. You may have a little bit of economic variance in this. You may see it a little bit higher. You may not be able to get quite to this level. Kind of depends what else is going on in your game. But per the XMLs, this is the estimated peak price. So, I mean, that's not a bad little bit of revenue, like $28,000 to $30,000 if you're running some of the typical grains, canola and sunflower. And if you decide to do rice, I mean, you're going to make about $31,000 in revenue every single month. Well, how much do the facilities cost? The large one, $240,000 once again. So how many months is that going to take to pay off? Well, anywhere from about 8 months all the way up to 11. So you're going to be able to pay it off if you can keep it running the entire time. If you don't keep this thing full every single month, then it's going to take even longer to pay off. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to run all of your recipes all at the same time like you can with the grain mill, because this oil mill, it is a divided production. What that means that if you have one recipe running, it's going to be able to run at 100% production that entire month. But if you have two recipes running, it's going to cut each recipe in half. If you have three running, it's going to cut them down to a third. So you're never going to be able to run all your recipes and be able to get all the money that you're seeing there in the output value per month. So if you have two running, say you've got canola and sunflower, well, you're only going to make about $14,000 on your canola and about 15, maybe 15 and a half on your sunflower. So it's almost worth just running one at a time. That way you're able to get that and then be able to sell it and then maybe run the next one. As far as capacities go, you're going to have 10 months worth of storage. If we look here in the menu, you can see that 96,000 liters of canola is the max that you're able to put in here. And your max input volume per month is 9,600 liters. So that's exactly 10 months. And it's the same thing on the output, maybe just a little bit more. Your canola oil is 50,000 liters and you're able to make 4,800 every single month. So it's just a little bit over 10 months, but not by very much. And on the bottom half of the spreadsheet here, you can see this is for the small oil mill. So it's the exact same all the way across the board, except everything is cut down to 10%. So that's the way that these small ones work, is they're 10% production of the large ones. So however much money you were going to make in the big one, just 10% of that is it. So, I mean, is it really worth having these small ones if you're only going to make an extra $3,000 every single month? And that's not even extra. That's just total revenue off just about every one of those, except for olives. I mean, it's only $2,000 there. These things cost $36,000 to own, and it's going to take you a year or longer to be able to pay these off, even if you keep these short ones running at a full 12 months. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really impressed by the oil mill here. It's just not really keeping up for what I think I'm going to want to do here starting out on my farms. If you guys are going to use it, let me know down in the comments. How long do you think it's going to take you to pay it off? Well, that's going to be it for today, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like if you would. Make sure to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications to keep up to date on my future videos. While you're waiting on those future videos, go and check out one of these two right here. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver53 signing off.